Welcome back after the break. In today's Expert Speak segment, I am joined by Gaurav Dubey, founder and CEO of Live Long 365, a health tech platform. We'll discuss how technology, OPD, preventive care are changing the way Indians manage their health. Gaurav, welcome to Insurance Mantra. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. Just to begin with, I want to ask you that we are seeing that healthcare cost is rising. Insurance for elderly people is getting very much expensive. So, how, according to you, Indian families are managing this increasing healthcare cost, increasing insurance cost, and what else can be done according to you?
Thank you for hosting me. So, I think so. Indian families are not so well prepared in terms of managing elder care expenses right now. While some positive changes come from the government of India, recently in terms of extending health insurance coverage to above 70 people. However, that also is very limited. And now with the increasing healthcare cost, typically a deeper cardiac or a hip replacement kind of surgery are costing more than 7-10 lakhs, right? So 5 lakh sum assured is very small, and the cost of buying it on its own, on a retail environment, which when you have to buy from a platform or through corporate, is quite expensive. A lot of people are not, taking it early, and it can become potentially a societal issue, if it's not been corrected fast, right? uh, the cost of because of the higher inflation, and it actually, when you see whenever there is a hospitalization event happening of this order, many people end up spending their family savings collected over years in terms of footing the hospital bills, which is a big concern for the society. We need to do something much more serious, much more structured, to ensure that older people are provided duly cover, and that should start hopefully from age 60.
Okay. Gaurav, I also want to know your view that Indians are mostly focused on hospitalization. When it comes to hospitalization bill, our focus is mostly on the hospitalization. So, how with hospitalization, with OPD cover, with wellness, with preventive cover, we can have a combination of all this. So, burden on policyholders, burden on insurance companies can be reduced.
So if you see globally, there's a pattern, and in India also, it's catching up very fast. Insurance policies, instead of being only limited to hospitalization or day care, benefit, it's trying to be complete, right from preventive care, which is annual checkups and all, to condition management. There's a conscious effort. We are also pushing in that direction, and there is a public demand also in general, right? What it does is, it helps in identifying, if there is a need for more deeper investigation or care, if someone is doing regular checkups very diligently, right? Which will definitely in a lot of cases will eliminate chances of hospitalization, chances of higher claims which can come up, let's say, in case the disease has not been identified or rectified at an early stage, right? This is the power and huge potential of integrating preventive care, OPD, wellness with hospitalization benefits. And as a country, we will always have, because of the large population size and limited infra, limited risk capital, we'll always have limitation of hospitalization with tertiary capabilities, right? So it's very important we restrict most of the consumer flows to preventive care, which and if we are able to do it successfully, definitely our cost of hospitalization, our cost of insurance will come down, and as a society will be far more productive and efficient.
As you spoke about the preventive healthcare and companies are also focusing on wellness, but don't you think the adoption of wellness is very low? And what are the reasons that after so many years and focus of companies, the adoption for wellness and the preventive healthcare is very less?
So essentially, what what will drive preventive care is some bit of policy support, some bit of change in clinical protocol apart from product innovation, right? It needs a mix of all three items. Otherwise, it cannot be driven. So I'll give you example. For example, US market. There it's mandatory for everyone above age 50, every woman above age 50 to go for mammogram every 2 years, right? As part and is funded as part of insurance products, right? So now that's the kind of policy support is there, to drive preventive care, and that is required. Thankfully, recently, Government of India has also, as part of the labor laws, they made it mandatory. They made it, provision for all above age 40 people. Diagnostic preventive checkups are required, right? Which was not the case earlier. Only it was for hazardous industries, right? So now government is also driving their home point. Ki preventive will require some nudge before it becomes a habit at a mass scale for the country. Just being a part of the product may not be sufficient, to drive home the point, because it's a behavior change also. It requires much more policy push.
Okay. Gaurav, my last question to you before I let you go. What is your insurance mantra for public at large, our viewers? What do you want to give the single mantra to them about insurance and healthcare?
So one interesting point which I personally like very very much, and I've seen people not utilizing is, so there are a lot of coverage available in pre and post hospitalization. So typically insurance products, if you see the 30 to 90 days pre hospitalization and 30 to 180 days post hospitalization, all the OPD expenses happening, which are most of the time people end up doing out of pocket, can be covered by insurance policies and can be reimbursed very effectively, reducing your out-of-pocket expenses. Right? People don't utilize these benefits. My request, my advice to all people who have unfortunately a hospitalization event in the family or with them, they should, if they're covered with insurance, then they should utilize that benefit.
Certainly, they should utilize it. And thank you so much, Gaurav, for joining our Insurance Mantra. And it's a wrap on this edition of Insurance Mantra, but we'll leave you with our insurance basic, that is, did you know? That health insurance, did you know that health insurance does not cover only hospital bills? Pre-hospitalization expenses are the medical costs you incur before getting admitted, such as doctor consultation, blood test, X-rays, CT scan, or MRI. Most insurers cover these expenses for 30 to 60 days before hospitalization, though the exact period can vary from policy to policy. Post-hospitalization expenses are the medical costs after the discharge, follow-up doctor visit, medicine test, and the recovery treatment. This coverage usually extends to 60 to 90 days after the discharge, and some health insurance plans even offer coverage up to 180 days. These expenses are covered only if they are related to the same illness for which insured was hospitalized. So remember, medical costs don't begin or end inside the hospital. A good insurance policy protects you before admission, during treatment, and after discharge. So stay informed, stay protected. That's our insurance mantra.
Every business is like a piece of land.